So Donna, do you want to talk about that just a little bit more?
Yeah.
What that money is going towards?
Yes. Again, we partnered up with yourselves, our community members, such as Sean from Trimline and EcoTree is kind of the project manager of the beautification, because I don't know all about those blueprints and recapitulating buildings and stuff like that. So he's in charge. And that money went into that so that we can have that solid part of the building for the sweat lodge, the change shack for the elders and the guests, the storage area where the sea can is going to be turned into a rooftop garden so we can grow sweetgrass and sage and medicines and stuff like that. And then the community garden will go all inside right by the apartment buildings, and then our elders can come there because there'll be cement pads going in and the peace path being made. Oh my God, just hold on to your hats.
You know, I will have to take pictures, Donna, and we'll have to do a follow-up to this. Just, I know you've described it so well, and I know where it is, and I know what it's all about, but we'll make sure to put pictures on our Rotary Urban Spirits page so everyone can kind of get an idea what Donna is talking about. And just so excited and so humble for us that Rotary Urban Spirits was able to be part of this community project. So we're just honored. Do we have other questions there,
yes,
Charlene?
Sanila Yakova would like to ask Donna to speak more about her work with correctional services and in what capacity were you there?
And I was heading that way, so that's perfect timing. Let's segue into that, Donna.
Okay. Oh, this is a long road to hoe, this one. I started off in uniform as a correctional officer 1, got promoted to correctional officer 2, acted as a correctional supervisor. Then I acted as an intelligence officer. Then I acted as a liaison officer when the elders wrote me in and never let me go. Then I got promoted out of uniform to a Aboriginal program officer, and then they developed a program called the Pathways Intensive Healing Range and asked me to coordinate that. And we failed miserably 3 times, and then we became #1 in Canada for best practices with Aboriginal healing, elders, community, stakeholders involvement, trade fairs, pre-release planning. I did about 4 different programs, the high intensity violence Aboriginal program called In Search of Your Warrior. I did the Aboriginal sex offender program. I did the Aboriginal healing program, the parenting program. Then I developed with a friend of mine a tool that was a visual tool for people with brain injuries, Aboriginal men with brain injuries that were having cognitive thinking difficulties and kept reoffending. And then we developed an unofficial FASD team that became an official FAS team within the prisons. And then we partnered up with Central Alberta FASD Society when Betty Lou was running it. And then we partnered up with the Red Deer Native Friendship Society for pre-release planning, with the John Howard Society, yada, yada, yada. And then I retired, kind of.
And then so much. That's amazing, Donna. You know what I caught, so much that you have done within those years, but would you mind just touching a little bit about what the healing program was about and explaining that to us a little bit?
Well, we found over the years with Health Canada and Stats Canada, because I had to really, unfortunately, I hate stats, but I had to really learn them more so and apply them more so in actuarials in order for us to get the proper documentation and feasibility studies to continue the program. So we knew that a lot of them that were intergenerational trauma, you name it. I mean, lack of education, unfortunately, intergenerational trauma, impeded by residential school or 60 scoop, and then violence, sexual abuse, you name it. So they weren't ready for programming at that time. So to get them ready for it, it's like I always say, my Muslim used to tell me, says, Donna, you can't lead a horse to water. And I'm like, oh, here we go. But you can make him thirsty. And that's that program.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Donna. Charlene, do we have more questions?
Dale Perrette would like you to repeat the interactive education and question mark comment, and who does the blanket ceremony?
It's not a ceremony. A ceremony is something when we do a symbolic gesture, when we're doing our prayers and that, but it's an exercise. That's the difference. And interactive means you are the Indigenous people, and I get to be a narrator, and Nadette gets to be the European voice, and another one of our facilitators gets to be the Indigenous voices. But you guys are the people from all across North America. You know, you're the Ojibwe people, you're the Cree people, you're the Blackfoot people, you're the Sioux people, you're the Inuit people, you're the Métis people. And then we get you doing a few things. I don't want to give it all away because then you won't come. But we do a few things to get you all excited and into it. And then we go through time slots of history where we start doing things visually, where you're going to have those aha moments of different things and different times in history that came along the way.
Wonderful. Yeah, you definitely don't want to give too much away. I feel like it's a very powerful exercise.
Yeah, and Charlene will have to work with Mary, and we'll have to like, this is on my list on top for us to organize a blanket exercise at some point. So I'm on it, Donna.
There has been a few
yes,
in the district as well. Not to say that there can't be more, obviously, but we have had a few, and they've been met with a lot of healing and feelings around that. So.
Absolutely. And we're always getting new Rotarians. And like I said, blanket exercise is meant to be done more than once, because every time you learn a new piece.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So one more question from Christine.
Okay.
She wanted to know more about, Christine Rindell, our DG, wanted to know more about the grounds and when is the project expected to be completed. And I'd like to add, you know, before photos and after photos, like a whole documentary thing would be nice to see as well.
Yes, Sean, because of the COVID thing, we had everything lined up for the beginning of May. We had RD students lined up. We had the Red Deer Public Schools lined up. We had emergency services lined up, you name it. But unfortunately, when that all happened, everything went kaputski. But we kept in touch. And Sean, bless his soul, has been going over there and cleaning up the place and making us blueprints. And a couple days ago, we met with him, and he's already got the gravel down where we're going to be putting the sweat lodge down. And Elder John came out to tell him, okay, this is where this goes, this is where that goes. So in the next couple weeks, you're going to see some movement. And in the next month, you're going to see some major changes. And we'll be taking pictures all the way through and releasing them on our group page for the Red Deer Native Friendship Society. So maybe, Sadia, if you want to get your beautiful Rotary people to try and join our group, you can see the progress, because we got to get into the now, making all the videos now on the boob tube there and on the Google machine. And so we got lots of videos coming out anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And part of this was for Urban Spirit Rotarians to be involved, to volunteer. So I will be in touch with Donna to take some pictures. And like I said, we will absolutely highlight this, because it was such an amazing project. And as Urban Spirits Rotarians, we were just so humbled to be part of it. So there will be pictures posted.
Yes. And once again, that goes with the action to the TRC.
Yes, absolutely.
That's, okay.
Yeah, I want to talk about when you know, going into gatherings and the importance of ceremony, Donna. If you can possibly touch on that a little bit for us as well.
Yeah, it's like anything in life. You have your physical health, you have your mental health, you have your emotional health, and you have your spiritual health, whatever that looks like to a person. A lot of people along the way, over all the years that I've been involved in my path, have come there for one reason or another, whether they be Indigenous, white, blue, purple, yellow, whatever. It speaks to you. It's their earth teachings that are very, very humble, very kind. There's not a lot of to do. The sweat lodge ceremony is, the lodge itself is our church. It represents that womb when you're getting ready to give birth, and mama's got all that warm water in there surrounding that beautiful baby to be born. That's kind of how we look at it, and that's a small snippet of a very larger teaching. And again, I'm just making you thirsty. So we go in there, and it's like having a wet sauna, not a dry sauna, a wet sauna where there's rocks and water splashed on that. So you're purifying mind, body, and spirit. And we do 4 rounds for about 20 minutes each or 15 minutes each, depending. And it's just about praying for ourselves, praying for others, praying for our community, and praying for that vision. Again, many other teachings, but it's our way to refresh ourselves every once in a while and to make sure we're in a good way, in a balanced way. With ceremony, just like any other belief system, comes protocols. And they're a symbolic gesture, and each person that has a sweat lodge, that holds a sweat lodge, each individual is very different about what they require before you come into the lodge. And those are, again, those are the kind of little details that the ladies at the center can help you with, or myself. And we can steer you in that right direction to say, okay, it's this elder that's having this ceremony, this lodge, and this is the things that come along with it that you need to think about and need to do. And if you're still open to do it, you're more than welcome to join us. And then you'll be prepared prior to going down there. Is that
absolutely? I think so. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, they're an important, anybody's spirituality, no matter how you look at it, is an important part of your own lives. However you want to look at that, celebrate it, worship it, symbolically, non-symbolically. It's just a nice grounder. So that's what we use that for, is that element of our wheels, that grounding.
Thank you so much, Donna.